And welcome back to another episode of Ultras 11. I'm your host, Joe Geneva.
And I'm Alex.
See, this is why I was taking off intros last time, because I said my last name again. But I'm sorry. I'll be better next time. So football's back. We don't have to pretend we like baseball. We don't have to pretend we... Oh, my God. You know, Steph Curry won Finals MVP. So crazy. I love basketball. We don't have to pretend anymore.
The greatest sport in the world is back, finally.
Actually, I was going to say just the Prem, but it's Prem and Bundesliga that came back. And it's
all coming back next week.
I was going to say this weekend coming up, everything else is back, which is fantastic.
And the good thing about the whole start of this season, I think, is just the fact that we have so much football to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
From now until next May, might even push to June, depending on how things get, like how much things get pushed back.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of soccer to watch, dude. It's crazy.
And honestly,
I can't wait.
I wish I could retire and I was one of those like older guys that was rich and well off, that I could just retire.
Watch every game.
Yeah, watch every single... This weekend... Sorry, just to also say we were vacant for 2 weeks. We
we don't want to just brush that.
Yeah, we had
that off the table.
We had another busy 2 weeks, and yes, we are still full-time workers. Yes. This is something we do on the side.
We also had a little COVID incident that we had to take care of, and that's why we couldn't record and meet up.
Yeah, exactly.
So now
better
we're
be
good.
Safe than sorry. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Still gotta be safe.
Yeah.
Gotta, always be careful.
We're back.
We're good now. We're back.
We're alive.
Shouldn't be missing any other episodes because
not that I know of.
With soccer back now. We're gonna have an even busier schedule.
Yeah, we don't have to actually make up stuff we're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
we don't have to brainstorm as much because now we could literally just talk about the games that happen over the weekend. We could talk about how shit.
And there's just so much more excitement in our lives.
It's true, actually.
I feel like the summer is supposed to be like the best time. It's so exciting, dude. The winter for me, man.
Clearly, like summer, Al enjoyed it a little bit more than me because he has a tan. I'm still pale.
I just spent the time more outside.
Yeah,
you're working. You're a busy guy, man.
Yeah. I don't touch grass. I don't touch grass. Al touches a lot of grass. That sounds really provocative, actually. I don't mean it Anyways, regardless, let's get to the fixtures over this weekend.
Fixtures.
Brighton beat Manchester United for the first time ever at home, and I
know it's still. It's still early because, like with Ten Hag coming in, it's still early with him. But like it's the same old United.
Listen, we will touch upon Man U afterwards for the transfers that make sense because preseason they look like they had everything done. Everything was taken care of, like transfer wise, like they were blowing everyone out of the water.
And this can't look at preseason.
See, and that's what I always say. Like, everyone's saying, this team's moving mad. This team's looking fantastic in the preseason. Yeah, of course they look great. But
honestly, I never used to watch any of the preseason games. I just started like the last couple of years. Well, I mean, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. For some reason, like you had never played any of them, so I just really never cared about them. Now, recently, the last couple of years, I've been watching them more because too, like there's more stars that are actually
they're actually playing against like Atletico Madrid, like bigger teams, not their own team.
I'm watching them now, but even still, like even the games like the last Juve got pumped in their training ground 4-0 against Atletico. I didn't watch that game at all and be like, oh my god, Juve stink, like they still look horrible. I don't care about that game. Next Monday, they have their first game. Mm-hmm. That's when I'll judge them and see how they actually play with with the new signings, whoever else they're gonna sign. Then we can judge them. But preseason with any team, you cannot judge.
Yeah, I agree. Preseason, it's all about tinkering, seeing where your best 11 is coming from, and even then, I feel like the first 3-4 weeks of like the actual league play, that's when coaches also figure out their because you have the preseason to figure it out, but the preseason you're kind of taking it as a joke. You're gonna give your youngsters a try. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. So you still don't even fully know your starting 11. And your ideas maybe come to fruition, maybe they don't. And Man U is a victim of that. Long term, maybe they'll be better, but short term, you think it was a good idea benching Ronaldo from the get-go and having no clear number 9 in that team?
I mean, I get the reasoning he did it, man. If the coach sees that his fitness, I know his fitness is always going to be good, but if coming back, like he wasn't training with the team, he didn't start training from the beginning. He just came like last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's not up to the speed with the team. So if it's the coach's decision, and he thinks that the team without Ronaldo worked better, obviously before the game, before we knew the result, worked better. That's what he went with, and I think it was. And dude, he's not the first coach that did it, man. Look at Allegri when he came back. He did the same thing with Ronaldo. He said he's like, you're going to be very useful. He literally, if you go look at both of them, what they said, Ten Hag and Allegri, they said the exact same thing about Ronaldo. He's still he's the greatest player.
Yeah,
he's still very useful.
There's no denying his ability.
He's not going to be playing every game. You need to rest him for those big games when you need him.
Well, I know we just kind of slandered other sports, but it's like with basketball, load management with certain players. You know what they're capable of.
Exactly.
You want to rest them for the smaller things.
He doesn't need to break any more records.
Yeah, you've done what you had to do. Just come out there. When we need to win this game, you're going to be the star. You're going to do what you got to do.
He's literally the perfect weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
But he can't accept that.
Well, he still thinks.
I still think there's how many 2 weeks left in the transfer market.
You think he's gonna leave?
I still think he pushed away out.
You know what?
If there's an opportunity, he pushes through.
I was speaking to my father about this the other day, and he was telling me how he respects Ten Hag because he gave Ronaldo the Beckham treatment. I'm like, the Beckham treatment. So apparently, I don't know how much truth there is to this. It's also my dad talking. Sorry, Dad, I love you, but. Kind of like Walt Disney when it comes to certain things. He was saying that Ancelotti apparently with Beckham like came in all high and mighty, whatever, but he looked at Beckham and said, "No, you're gonna sit down. When I need you, I'm gonna call on you.
Yeah.
And like right now, sit down, earn your place." And apparently, like Ten Hag did the same thing, which that is actually proven. But that was my dad was saying how he respects Ten Hag for doing something like that, blah blah blah, whatever. If that's the case. Honestly, my hat will go off 100% to Ten Hag for actually looking at a guy of that stature and saying, "Hey, sit down. The team is more important right now. Mm-hmm. You're not above anyone. This is my team now. Relax."
Yeah.
I think though, I love Ten Hag and I respect his tactics. I respect everything, but I think without it's not the Eredivisie here.
Yeah.
You don't need a clear number 9, but you do need a player as a focal point of attack.
Yeah.
Because even look at when City was playing a false 9, whatever, they still had a player in that central role that was known for getting goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was an attacking prowess of sorts. You look at Man U, who Ten Hag deployed as the false 9. Christian Eriksen. I love Christian Eriksen. Does he have a beautiful story? Yeah, of course. That's even better. But is he actually known as a goal scorer?
Yeah.
No, not so much. You know, has he even featured in the Prem as a second striker? No. You know, so it.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
think
suit that
I was gonna say I think it
role.
was more so he's trying to prove a point that he could live without Ronaldo too.
Yeah. That's what I think.
But I think
also more of.
Yeah, like if you don't have a number 9 there though, and you have Ronaldo on your bench, I feel like maybe take a step back and let Ronaldo cook. Let him do what he has to do. The season just started. You don't want to start off on this foot, especially.
Yeah.
Now everyone's already at his throat, and it's going to be a process, and he has to have thick skin, but he's going to be watched so closely now, especially after that. And
But you could also even argue too that maybe it wasn't Ten Hag's decision and Ronaldo's decision.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows. It's like
because Ronaldo, the first game when everyone's like, "Oh, like he benched him," apparently that whole thing was Ronaldo didn't want to play from the start because he didn't want to risk getting hurt and then not being able to try.
That's
the
thing too. It's like what Mourinho said. Nobody understands what happens behind the scenes.
No.
So that's the thing. We all look at it with such a small gaze. You know, like we just see it through like a little peephole, you know? We just see that little picture and we make a story out of it.
Yeah.
But nobody knows if Ronaldo's looking at Ten Hag and saying, "Hey, I'm not fucking playing.
Yeah.
I want to go somewhere else. Let me go."
Yeah.
You know, we don't know the whole story.
And obviously Ten Hag's not going to come out and say that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No, we decided that.
Let's get real.
He's going to start
with all
on
these
the bench.
transfer sagas. The coach comes out, no, he's a player for us.
The coach wants the least amount of drama around his team.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to say just the best thing just to kind of keep reporters happy and ask them the least amount of questions.
Years later, you'll figure out the truth.
Yeah,
Ronaldo was a cocksucker.
Yeah.
He did this. He did that. Whatever. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But enough about Man U right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get back.
The one thing I want to talk about is the West Ham Man City game. I know we all knew what the result was going to be. At the end of the day, you're coming up against the defending champions.
Yeah, and an improved defending champions
exactly.
too.
Having Haaland, who made a fantastic debut in the Prem. But Scamacca, when he came in, I know he didn't score, but man, I think he's gonna have a good season at West Ham.
I think with Moyes, they need that figure, you know. And Haller was supposed to be that when he was there originally.
Yeah.
But I think that was just a dark time for West Ham, you know, like after losing Payet, losing all like their bigger names, whatever. I think West Ham has been rebuilding. And now, Mikel Antonio, I think he's a good player, but do I think he's a striker? No.
No.
I don't think he has that instinct.
The one good thing about him is he's so versatile.
Yeah.
He can like adapt anywhere. So they can deploy him really anywhere, and he'll still be useful. As
You're
long
talking
as
about Antonio, right?
Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying. Dude, he started off as a right back.
That's what I mean.
Then he was a winger. Then he's a striker. Like, dude, he can play everywhere.
I feel like with a guy like Antonio, that's like he's a Swiss Army knife. You could literally just deploy him anywhere, and you'll get that same ability everywhere he goes. And for me, I would like to see him on the left side. You know, you have Jared Bowen already on the right. That left side is kind of calling for someone that could like dominate it. And you have Scamacca in the middle. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was watching the game, the one thing I want to pick from it that kind of bothered me is Scamacca is more than just an aerial presence. You know, he's 6'6". He's a unit. But he's way more than this guy. Like, just cross it and hope he latches his head onto it. No, if you look at his stats from last year, he only had, 4 headed goals out of his 14? You know what I mean? Like he's good with his very versatile. He gets goals from outside the box. He gets them inside the box. Like he's actually a very
shot on him,
like he's actually very good and technically sound. So I feel like once West Ham gets accustomed to him and he gets accustomed to West Ham,
that's what I think. Like
you'll see them start
it's
to
early, but like already just from like he, I don't know, man. He has a little like a spark in him. Like I think he's gonna be something.
I do think actually I'm not gonna say what I do think about what West Ham needs because we will get to them afterwards as well. No, Man City, you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
come on.
That game was just more, honestly, I just wanted to see how Scamacca did. I know he didn't start. I was hoping he was going to, but when he came on, that's like I just wanted to get a feel for.
The only thing I'm worried about with Scamacca is the price tag he comes with. It comes with expectations. You know, like obviously. It's like Kepa. He can't I don't think Kepa was ever a bad goalie.
Just not an $80 million goalie.
Just not an $80 million goalie. And was he ready for even Chelsea? No. You know, like that's the thing. And it's the price tags that always give you a different expectation. Yeah. If Kepa came for 10 mil, Chelsea would have looked at him as a pretty decent signing steal, then. Yeah. Like they're like, oh wow, that's great. You know, it's the whole principle of this, like the money they make and the money they pay for him that gives that different expectation. Yeah. Spurs decided to just run rampant on Southampton.
They came out looking hot, man.
I still don't know with the Spurs. I still don't know about
who they signed today. Yeah, another position who they lacked, a left back, the guy from Udinese, the Italian.
Oh, Destiny Udugue. Yeah, I saw they were linked with him. I didn't see it was completed.
Today, I think it was apparently.
I haven't looked at my phone yet.
It was all like said and done today.
That's a good pickup, but I don't.
That's an Antonio Conte pickup, man.
That's what I mean. Like I want to look at you and say he's young. I don't know. Like it's still a lot to prove, but it's. If Conte wanted him, there is a reason behind that. Yeah. You know, like I think Emerson's a good left back. You know, I think they were pretty good there. And they also got Perisic. Yeah. So, like, I feel like that side was good. Then you get Destiny Udugue. It's like, what are you really plotting over here now? Like, are you going to now make Perisic your right wing back, your right mid, whatever it is, and then get Destiny to run that left flank? Like, you know he's not just making a signing to let him sit on the bench. No. That's not a Conte thing to do. Everyone he signs, they ride every game they're playing, never getting injured either for some reason.
Healthiest team.
They were very impressive. They were, even when they conceded, it looked like they weren't even worried. They're like, we know we're better than them. Still, we're good. And it was, I don't want to say impressive because I don't want to give Spurs that compliment.
Man, they look good. That was an impressive win.
It's the first week, though.
Kulusevski looked sexy.
Kulusevski.
Dude, he was looking good, man.
I still don't think Kulusevski is as crazy as people originally thought.
Guy still has the most assists in the Premier League in 2022.
Can't argue it. I actually can't argue it's a stat.
He's doing good, man. You know what it was, Joe? He didn't fit Allegri's system when he was there. No, they don't. It's true. Like he has a very specific system, and that's why he needs very specific players. Mm. He didn't fit that system. He fits Conte's system, and especially in the Prem. Yeah. So for him, that move made the most sense for him because if he went to Juve, his career probably would have just kept going down. And he would have ended up at another like mid-table team. Maybe TFC, but a mid-table team in Serie A again.
I just want to point out Bernardeschi's comments. I want to know who these players are that are calling Berna to
and say they want to go
out of jealousy.
Come to Toronto.
I'm not trashing TFC by any means, by honestly any means. I think what they're doing is fantastic. Yeah. They're building something really nice, and it's about time they start to realize that they should build a core of either Italians or Portuguese, given their population. Like the demographic, how it is mainly Italians and Portuguese that come to your games. Especially in that area. Yeah, exactly. You're finally appealing to them, so you're gonna sell out, and you're also getting decent players. Yeah. So like, good marketing strategy, good in every principle.
I do want to know who's...
But I want to know who the hell these 5 players are, or whatever that is. Because
Bonucci, probably 100%.
It's funny because I actually mentioned that to my brother. I'm like, it's probably Bonucci.
Bonucci and Berardi too, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I'm saying he's looking at Bernardeschi, the way he came here, the way everyone's treating him. He's a god over here. He's probably like, I want to go
like there. Maradona right now. that interview, takes his shirt off and he's talking. It's like, dude, relax. Like, I love you. You're a great player.
Oh no, dude! In his head right now, he's like Pele.
Oh, dude, he thinks he's the best thing ever. New York Cosmos have nothing on TFC right now. Regardless of that, Arsenal. I want to talk about them actually because Arsenal is a team that has been rebuilding for
very like under the radar, like just kind of
and like slow
rebuild.
We did mention though that the acquisition of Gabby Jesus was going to be like the real like. TSN, you could copyright this if not. TSN turning point. You know, we all thought like that was gonna be a big thing for them. And
yeah, well, I mean, their strikers were getting up there in age, and they needed something. They needed to change something. And I think he's already proven. He knows the league. You know he can play in it. Yeah. He just wasn't getting consistent playing time. Now's his time where you're gonna see if he's actually a consistent striker that should be starting every game, or he's just inconsistent and should be on coming off the bench.
With like that whole front 4 that they have going on, Martinelli, Odegaard,
the
Saka,
young core,
it works out for. And you know what? I kind of liked when I was watching Arteta and Arsenal, not Arteta, but technically Arteta, yes, his tactic with Zinchenko. Mm-hmm. Now, I like what he's doing because Zinchenko isn't really a left back. Mm-hmm. You could see he gets exposed so many times. Even throughout that game. Yes, they won, whatever. But Zinchenko was the weakest part of that whole back line. Mm. I do like that he drifts to the middle as almost like a defensive mid, center mid type of thing. And Xhaka comes to cover up for him. But the only downfall with that tactic is Xhaka is literally the most unathletic person. Yeah. So I feel like if they're going to do something like that, they would need to get peak Ramsey would have been perfect for that role to slot in as a makeshift left back / defensive mid, whatever.
Keep dropping back in there.
I think for them, that's something that long term in the season might kind of be an issue for them. And I feel like they may go back to Tierney coming back in there on left back because he's a through and through, whatever. And then maybe even making Zinchenko take over that defensive mid role for Xhaka or whoever else. But they sincerely looked very impressive, especially with Gabby Jesus. I think Martinelli also might be a little bit overrated. I think he just has a lot of speed, but he looks like, how you make fun of FIFA players.
That's what the Premier League is.
I know,
especially with the top 6 teams. When a guy just starts, he cracks the starting 11 and he starts playing. He score a couple goals, get assists. He just gets hyped up so much.
No, I know.
And even with them, it kills them because their hype goes all the way up to here, and they're okay, they're only consistently performing over here.
Yeah.
And maybe getting those couple high, amazing games.
But that's what I mean.
Blue moon.
I used to be a big supporter of Martinelli, but after fully watching the game and whatever and seeing the technical quality, I think that's what it is too. The team itself is improving technically. When you see the technical quality that Odegaard offers and Gabby Jesus and then even Saka, you look at Martinelli and it's you are so overrated. You're a good, fast player, but you're it's that how we describe a FIFA player sometimes. They're clunky.
Yeah.
They're his touches are heavy. He's getting lucky that he's able to toe poke it through a defender.
He's not silky.
Yeah, exactly. There's no flow about it, and I'm just there you're just fast. Yeah. You'd be
and especially
great
for being Brazilian too. You would think he's got a little bit
that.
Whoop,
maybe it was just an off game, and I'm being a little bit too critical of him.
Yeah.
I just don't think like long term. Again, that's one of those positions that maybe they look at and analyze. And I think maybe Smith Rowe may be better on that, like in that role. Sorry, as a left mid, given like whatever. I think Odegaard is the unsung hero of that mid.
Yeah. He has been a specimen over there.
He's doing very well.
Playing very well.
I made some false proclamations in the group chat last week, and I said that he's moving like Iniesta. And I didn't mean he is Iniesta. It was taken very literal. Yeah, I'm just saying he was just very difficult.
Those outrageous claims.
He was just so much more intelligent than the rest of the players. And I was like, it was like how Iniesta was really more intelligent. But like, yeah, I was wrong. He's not Iniesta. I'm not saying that he's Iniesta. Chelsea.
Well, he is better than McFred for sure.
Oh. I'm not talking about
better than both of them put together.
I'm not talking about McFred and their disaster class. That Fred can't even receive a 6-yard pass from this guy just like Fred needs to get a new hairstyle. He needs to get a new job. He literally looks like if the Weeknd had a doppelganger but really wasn't partying on the weekend, he was the weekday. Like he looks like just a shit version of him.
Not even the weekday, just like the evening.
Like a brunch. Like brunch. You just brunch. McTominay, you're a big oaf. Donny Van de Beek needs to start there. Maybe keep McTominay, even though he's a big oaf, but you need that height there, whatever.
Just go in and just run into people.
Yeah, just be that big presence and do something, you know? Chelsea beat Everton. I feel like game. A lot of people would say they saw that coming, but I mean... Chelsea didn't look too impressive. Sorry, guys.
Everton, they're still, coming off how bad they did last season. Mm-hmm. I do think they're going to do a lot better this season, but I still think they have a lot of flaws that they have to work on if they want to, especially like get up there and not make any like European competitions, but not be at the bottom of the table fighting for relegation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think Everton is a team we have to address in one of these sensible transfer things. Maybe next week, not this week. Yeah. This week we already have our list. We're not gonna screw around with that right now. Dortmund beat Frankfurt. Oh my god, Leverkusen 1-0. That was a pretty decent game. Yeah. Did we even question if Bayern Munich would absolutely okay? I didn't expect them to derail
Bayern Munich
Frankfurt's existence.
I go look at before their games. Oh, who are they playing? Oh, okay. So this is gonna be nice.
The worst part is
very good close game tonight, right?
I only bet on soccer because I know what it is. I understand whatever. And I always tell myself I'm not going to bet before the game starts. I'm going to bet after like one goal goes in. That's it. So I'm like, okay, if Bayern scores first, then I'm going to bet that they score over 5 because they're just like, depending on the time, like they're just going to run rampant. Yeah. They're just going to destroy them.
Because they don't stop.
But I was literally too slow. That's how quick they decided to just start railing Frankfurt. And that is a team that just won Europa League. Yeah. Let that sink for a second. That just shows
you like the skill gap.
Like the levels there, it's like Bayern Munich, their only competition this year, I will sincerely say it. Yeah, I think it's going to be Dortmund. But even Dortmund
lost their best player.
That's the thing. With especially Haller too, like him not unless you're talking about Haller.
I'm talking about Haaland.
Oh, I was
and now they have Haller, who I forgot about that. Who also, he can't play right now. So
they're gonna be trusting. Oh, actually, Adeyemi too, who they just signed from Leipzig. Mm-hmm. He was gonna be there as well. He was gonna be like a right mid, but also could play striker. He is now hurt too. Oh, really? Oh, meaning, either they're gonna go with a false 9 type of thing, or they're going.
Let's do a little bet right now. When does Bayern clinch the league? I say February.
I say October. Probably October, maybe November, early November. No, it's
a joke.
Dortmund's now gonna have to rely on Youssoufa Moukoko, who you will see a TikTok video come up tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Gotta see how the editing works out. Where we talk about youngsters to watch this year, but he is now probably their only striker option. If their coach decides to go with a striker, and not decide, I'm gonna be crazy and be like Pep Guardiola. It's just
it's a joke, man. It's actually it's crazy, and like nothing's changing, and they don't care because they like that league. They understand.
Yeah.
Just build these players. If they're good enough, they go on. They move on to go to Bayern, and then from that, hopefully build a team good enough that'll win the Champions League.
Yeah, and even then, oh, we're not good enough. Okay, one of us will go to Real Madrid. Yeah, that's it. See you later. Or like one of those top teams in Spain.
I'm getting bored here. I'm gonna go to Madrid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, why, like even like Alaba left, Lewa left. They're bored, man. They're winning the league every fucking year.
And speaking of winning the league every year, PSG. I was home this weekend because of the whole COVID thing, and I watched that game against Clermont Foot or whatever their name is. Sorry if I'm not trying to make fun of it. It's just weird. Don't get me wrong. I like to actually try to pick out the positives, and I want to look at you and say there is like a technical quality in the league. Some of these players that are even from Clermont Foot, like they look pretty good. Like they maybe crack a team, like whatever. No. Like, I'm sorry, two center mids. They're both their center mids, Vitinha and Verratti. Both really good players. Maybe one better than the other, whatever the case is. There's no way in hell these center mids should be putting up a percentage of completed and accurate passes of 96%. In a full 90 freaking minute game. I'm sorry, to me, either you are the second coming, or the league is just that saturated and shite.
Yeah.
Both Vitinha and Verratti had 90. Well, sorry, Vitinha had 95, and Verratti ended with 96%. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. But also, you go to question what the hell is going on in that league. Messi's bicycle kick. What are your thoughts? Nasty?
Greatest of all time, man.
Obviously, it's the greatest of all time.
It was disgusting. That little touch and then hit it in like that, that was disgusting.
I think the first touch was actually better than the finish. Yeah, is that weird to say?
No, but yeah, a bicycle kick is always going to be a nice, goal.
You'll always rate it.
Obviously, there's going to be like one's better than the other one.
Yeah.
Is that the best bicycle kick I've ever seen? No.
Definitely
obviously not. It's not even top 10, top 20.
Gareth Bale.
But it's still a beautiful. Even Bale and Ronaldo is for me the best two bicycle kicks I've seen.
You're never going to replicate stuff like that. That's impossible.
But bicycle kick's a bicycle kick. It was a beautiful goal. Messi, I think this year he's gonna go off.
Oh yeah, I think he knows the World Cup is in a couple months. He's gonna be going full try hard, try to win that World Cup, and then maybe he'll tone it down.
Because he's gonna try to go for the Ballon d'Or. Now he's gonna try to go get as many goals as he can, especially in League One. Get as many fucking goals in the World Cup. I mean, obviously, like Argentina has a good enough team to try to make that push to win it. So this is the year that he has to do it if he's gonna want to do it to win a World Cup.
Off topic, actually, now that you mentioned even Argentina, I'm kind of tracking back here, but this was also segue into our next topic. Lisandro Martinez looked really good for Man U.
He did.
I know a lot of people are saying, oh, the physicality, he's short or whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like he did very, very well.
He did. He looked good.
He was reading all the passes. From what I remember, he didn't misplace anything. He was always calm in possession. He always did the right thing. He was very, very good.
No, I even
he
liked
adjusted
him,
real
last
quick.
Season.
Yeah.
And when I saw Man U pick him up, I was like, that's gonna be a good sign.
I'm gonna be honest,
like one of the good signings that they made recently. That I was like, okay, fuck, that made sense.
Yeah.
Many times I see that Man U signed this guy, Man U signed this guy. I'm like, but why? Why did they need?
I think we actually mentioned Lisandro Martinez as a transfer that just makes sense. I like that. I like that title. I don't know why it's starting to fit in now a little bit. So, on the topic of the Premier League, I would like to ask you, Alex. Out of this whole thing, I know it's just week one. It's a little bit early to make predictions. It's a little bit early to try to analyze, but you got a general feel. I would like to know, where do you see these teams fitting? Who do you think in the Prem is going to be your top four, and who do you think gets relegated?
Who do I think gets relegated? Who thinks tops four? Okay. Relegated, I think it's going to be Leeds because they sold their two best players and they haven't signed anybody to replace them. So I just don't think that they're going to even be a team to even make a push up there. I mean, I know like Forest, they've made not Forest.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest. Yeah.
They've made a couple signings, but I still don't think they're good enough to maintain it and stay into the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the last team? What was the team that came up this year? What was one of them? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
I was literally just about to say Nottingham Forest again.
No.
Because that's the only team I'm picturing because they're the
only
ones.
We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to the relegation. It's not really relegation isn't as important to us as the top four.
No, I'm gonna try to remember that last team because I have it in my head and that's why I think it's gonna go down. I can't remember the fucking name.
We'll get back.
Top four in order or not in any order?
I would honestly like to say in order, but I feel like that might be a little bit too specific. So if you want to give it to me in order,
I'll do it in order.
Okay. Sorry, man. My bad.
So first place. Actually, we'll start with fourth.
Ooh.
Fourth place. I think Arsenal's gonna take it.
Okay.
Third place. I think it's gonna be Cité.
Third place. Cité.
This is the year that Pep leaves. Second place.
That's a really bold prediction. I like it.
Klopp and the Liverpool boys. And first place, none other than Antonio Conte and Kulusevski with the Tottenham Spurs. I think Tottenham's going to win it.
That is very, very bold.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Being bold.
And I know you're going to, I know I'm probably going to hear from Rowe because I do think Chelsea is going to they're going to be close to there. But I don't know. I think this season is going to be more of like a transitional kind of year because I know Lukaku wasn't good for them, but like they got rid of him. Now they got rid of Timo. They don't really have that number 9, and like I just feel like
and his Kai Havertz really the solution.
Their players are getting older too, like their main guys. So I think like we'll get back to them, but
yeah, I was gonna say
I think they're gonna be up there and they're gonna be getting like they're gonna be close, but I think Arsenal's gonna make that jump in front of them. What about you?
So for me, relegation in like no order because you're going down.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Everton.
Ooh.
I'm going balls deep just saying Everton. They really didn't make any impact. Calvert-Lewin's still injured. After watching their game again, Yedemina went down and Goodson went down.
It wasn't a team that came up, but it just came to my head. Oh my God, I just lost it again. What was that team that Ericsson was on last year? Brentford.
No, I think Brentford stays.
No, I think they go down.
Reckon they stay?
I think they go down.
I don't know. For me, I'm gonna say Nottingham Forest, Everton, and I couldn't tell you why. This is another bold thing. I see it being Leicester City.
Really?
There was no signings made for Brendan Rodgers' team. They sold players. They got rid of their goalie. They got rid of, I'm pretty sure Vardy might have retired or something because he's not even existing anymore, poor thing. No players were replaced. Nothing was done. James Maddison is probably on his way out as well.
Well, sure. He's probably going to push his way out.
So I feel like either they get relegated or in January, Brendan Rodgers is sacked and somebody else takes over and then, saves them and they barely scave off that relegation. But I do think it's going to be Leicester, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, Nottingham Forest. I know Richie plays there.
No, he's on TFC.
Well, he's on TFC right now. He's on loan, and he's gonna go back. But
yeah, that's all that matters.
And I would hope he stays in the Prem. But I don't think Nottingham has the tools to actually survive.
No, I don't think so either. They got rid of Richie.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Fulham is that team actually that just got promoted. I just remember that right now because Mitrovic popped into my head. Mitrovic popped into my head right now.
They tied Liverpool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. And you know what? Which leads me to my top 4. I don't think Liverpool cracks top 4.
Really?
I think this is the year they get exposed.
Okay, who's top 4? And I want order starting from 4.
Order? Starting from 4. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me do from actually, 4th? Yeah. I think it's going to be Chelsea 4th.
Okay.
Arsenal 3rd.
Okay.
Just because I feel like that Chelsea has enough that they could compete, especially during their transitional era. And I think Tuchel is a fantastic coach that will still get the best out of like even Broha. If they don't get another striker, I think he's good enough that Tuchel could get something out of him. And if not, Kai Havertz as a false 9 is a fantastic thing. So I think Chelsea 4th, Arsenal 3rd. 2nd place, I'm gonna go with the Spurs. And then first I'm going with Cité. I'm sorry. I just look at Haaland, and last year they won it without a number 9. Now they have, in my opinion, probably the best number 9 in the world. Right now.
But see my problem with City, and it's just bound to happen. They haven't had the times where like they had to struggle where they've been missing like their key guys with like injuries or stuff.
But that's the thing. The only key guy, in my opinion, for their mid, that if they're missing him, they're fucking
De Bruyne.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But De Bruyne is an ox. For some reason, that man doesn't get hurt. And let's get real. Haaland,
one ACL injury, buddy.
Yeah, that's all it takes. But I mean, I don't think because it's not as if De Bruyne is ever like even that gritty in your face player that he gets taken out or something like that. Like he knows his limits. You never see him doing too much or too little. Even if Haaland were to get hurt, let's just say, Julian Alvarez is a great backup. They still have that. They have Bernardo Silva, Rodri, De Bruyne. You can't. I don't know. They're winning it again.
Okay.
They're winning it again.
Okay,
that's my theory. They're winning it.
That's it. We'll revisit this in January.
I think Liverpool. I don't want to chirp Liverpool because my dad's a fan and I know people that are fans. I think Darwin Núñez is a good signing. I really do like him, and I feel like a lot of people gave him stick just because of a fucking preseason game.
Because he missed the net.
Like, shut up. I think he will be great, but I think this is the year that Salah doesn't have that magic.
No.
I think he gets exposed a little bit, and I also think Van Dijk gets exposed. He got exposed by Mitrovic pretty fucking bad.
Holy God, I loved it.
And like that's something I mean. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to see the mighty falling like that, but now you're starting to realize Van Dijk is human, and like that's what I like to see. And now you have to see how he bounces back. Yeah. Like realistically, is he thinking it's a big thing? No, we all think it's huge.
Yeah,
but
he's just like whatever.
Yeah, that I think, those are the predictions.
Like I said,
I feel like my relegation was a little bit more bold than
I mean, the top thing was still man to take Liverpool out of that
after actually competing.
And you're putting like Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, and City as your top 4. Like that's a lot different than what a lot of people think.
I know. I couldn't tell you why.
Oh, neither of us.
Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal's going to be the team that disappoints me.
Arsenal's going to finish 7th again.
That's what I mean. They're going to be the ones that finish in like 7th, and then Liverpool finishes in that 3rd spot. And I'm just going to get pissed off. Yeah. Thank God there's no bets that are made on that. We're not making bets.
Just some friendly claims.
Just some friendly claims, and then we'll revisit this
in January.
We'll
see what.
We'll have a better feel.
We'll have a little thing in January. Get a better feel. New signings after the transfer window.
Yeah. Do you think so? We wrote down 3 teams in the Prem that actually may need to make some signings now.
Yeah.
We got Man U, Chelsea, and West Ham. These 3 cannot wait for January. That's why they're going to be a part of the transfers that just make sense.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. So on the topic of Chelsea maybe being the team that I'm gonna start with Chelsea. Lost Lukaku, lost Werner now.
But they made some good signings, man. They lost Rudiger, but they upgraded that on Koulibaly.
Oh yeah.
Koulibaly, what he's gonna do with the just the presence he brings on and off the field.
He's more of a leader than Rudiger as well.
Oh yeah,
man. I love Rudiger. I think he's gritty in your face, but I don't think he's.
But Rudiger, Koulibaly is for me miles ahead of Rudiger.
That 3-man backline they have of Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Koulibaly is literally just 3 leaders that could command you for the whole season, barring injuries. Like I think. That's fantastic.
That's a solid backline.
Yeah,
like that for them. Like that was the best signing that they made.
Oh yeah,
and they're gonna notice a massive difference in that.
It just sucks that they got rid of that. They got rid of that other center back.
Who?
It's just on loan, Colwill.
Oh yeah,
I think he's a really good player. I feel like they should have tried to hold on to him, but I understand
they're still fighting. They're still a top team. They can't. They still got to have majority of the team has to be like some of the world best players, and that's what they are. But having no number 9 right now, I think that's going to be the big problem for them because defensively they're going to be amazing, and like their midfield is still going to be as long as Conte stays healthy. If he can kind of, because Lionel last season at the end of like the season after he came back from injury, he wasn't really playing like Conte. He was a little bit off, but if he can come back and put back those performances like he used to, plus Kovac is kind of probably coming in more for Jorginho, because I think Jorginho's kind of up there in with his time.
Yeah, he's a little bit washed in it. Sorry, Jorginho.
No, but he was never the fastest guy. So now, like when he starts slowing down, like you notice it even more, because it's like, okay, well, he was slow before, but now the referee's running faster than him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's bad. So,
and especially if you're running a 3-man backline, you want more athleticism in that.
And I think Kovacic will fit nice into that. Like he would slot in perfectly for Jorginho.
Sorry.
It's okay. But it's just their attack, man. Their attack is just so with me.
So
like Sterling it was a good signing for them, but they got Sterling on the one side, and then who else do you really got on the wing?
Pulisic,
Ziyech.
I mean, technically Kai Havertz could play that because he goes with usually like a 3-4-2-1
Kai
type
Havertz
of thing.
is always so much better in the middle.
So that's the thing then. So what you're looking for then in your striker is, are you looking for a backup to Kai, or are you looking for a real number 9 then?
A real number 9.
Do you have a recommendation
for them
that you think would fit?
That's available right now.
That's the
thing. You're very limited. That's why, like, for them, they're not like going around trying to, like, jump at names, because the names available right now are not really that hot.
And that, I feel like with them, they'd have to look at someone that it's almost like a gamble that they'd have to get.
Like the one I did see them that they were linked with, which honestly, given his age and last year, I mean, he was looking good that second half of the season. I think Aubameyang would do pretty good over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone like, I think for them I would look at a more experienced player.
That's what I mean. Because, and look how he finished off with Barca last year. Like he was every game they're like, hey, we gotta get rid of this guy. Then he goes, he scores 2 goals, and they're like, okay, fuck, maybe we'll keep him another game. Next game scores another goal. And you're like, okay, I guess we'll keep him another game. And he performed well.
And that for them, they already have Broja on the bench.
Yeah,
and I think he's a good number 9. But is he really a top 4 team striker that's going to help out in Champions League? Maybe as like a bench player.
And this is why I keep telling you, the thing that makes the most sense is them buying back Tammy, especially if he has another stellar season like he did last year.
He's not leaving.
But you know it makes the most sense.
It does. Well,
because Joe, what other, especially if he has another like unreal season, what other striker next season will be available
for 80 mil? Especially like if he has another good season, like that's a steal to get him back for 80 mil. You know what I mean?
Even if it's like not only that, who else is there available?
Yeah,
right
no,
now?
I know. I agree.
Haaland's gone. Like he went to City now. Mbappe, he signed over there, so you're not touching that.
Yeah.
Who else really is there?
I agree, and he's the perfect age.
Darwin Nunez, he's young and up and coming. He's that thing. Vlahovic, young and up and coming.
He's not going to leave Juve right now, especially. And like, I do think Tammy would be the perfect player, but it's not ideal this year for them.
No. Right now,
so that's why
he had the 1 year there. Give him. It's stupid to take him away after 1 year. Like any team that would do that is just retarded.
Yeah, for them,
I wouldn't. They would keep him there, watch him there. Has another good season.
Yeah,
buy him back because he's proven.
Yeah. See, I think Aubameyang would be. My only hesitation with a guy like Aubameyang would be the fact that he's returning to the Prem, and is it the Prem that didn't fit his style, or was it Arsenal that didn't fit his style?
Man, look at Arsenal.
So that's what I mean. It's something though you'd have to take into consideration because he's not going to come cheap. He won't come expensive either. But
he's not going to come.
He's not going to come exactly. So I think that's a good shout. Even like maybe Memphis Depay from Barca because whatever.
Because even him too is going to be cheap because apparently his. I was reading today. Apparently, his agents might like pay for something, so then he doesn't have a transfer fee, so you can get him for free.
Yeah.
So if Chelsea can pick him up for free, why not?
I would even maybe like a weird shout here. I just feel like he's never been on a big enough team, and like he's not that bad of a player. Yeah, he's a rat in FIFA and like whatever. But what about like Ben Yedder? You know what I mean? Like he played with Sevilla. He's won stuff. Like he's.
But I feel like I don't know.
He's a FIFA rat.
But guys like that, like they're happy enough being on that smaller team.
Yeah.
not worrying about having all this pressure on them to win every game. Like they're making good money and they're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's players like that, and there's players that want to win. They want to be the best. They want to set records. They want to be the highest scorer.
Like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So who does Man U get then?
What do you mean?
Transfers that make sense.
Who does Man U get?
Who should Manchester
A whole
United
new starting 11.
I mean, realistically, we have them written down. When you analyze Man U, it's difficult to actually say they need players because they're actually kind of deezed on paper.
Yeah, but you don't know where like they are in certain positions, but then you don't know
But
like
they also
is Rashford
suck.
a winger or is he a striker?
No one knows. Or is he just donating to kids?
Yeah.
You don't know. I love Rashford. Sorry, I'm not trying to chirp him. I love Rashford for his humanity. You know, like that's beautiful.
Yeah. Is Sancho a midfielder or a winger, an attacker? What is he?
And I think for them, what they are lacking is proper defensive mids.
Yeah.
Because McFred isn't working.
No.
I think if
That
they
needs to
could
go.
slot Van de Beek back into that role like he did for Ajax for Ten Hag, that'd be a great thing.
Plus, they're still linked with Donny. Not Donny.
Donnie, I was gonna say
Oh my God.
Donnie's there.
Frankie.
I was just about to say Van de Beek.
Thanks, finishing that off for me. They're linked with Frankie, and I was reading today. Apparently, they're linked with Rabiot now.
I think Rabiot would do well for them.
I think.
I don't
do well
think
with
Frankie
them too.
would do well for them.
I don't think he would do consistently well for them.
No.
Rabiot, but I think he would do better in that league. The only thing that would his only downfall would be he's very clunky.
Yeah.
And the Prem's very fast.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem with like for him, but I still think that he would do better than both of McFred in the midfield.
Oh yeah, well I think anyone could do better than them. I think a double pivot of Van de Beek and Rabiot would be actually something good for Manchester United.
Yeah.
I don't think Frankie de Jong would be good in the Prem.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you what it is. I think de Jong is one of the best players around. I think he's fantastic. He's so technically able, but I just don't think he would fit that well in the Prem.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like after like they would be on his ass after a year because he's not fitting. Maybe eventually he fits in second, third year, but right away he's not clicking, and that's what they need right now. Someone that would click right away.
Yeah.
And I think Rabiot brings that physicality and that athleticism that's needed in the Prem. Do you think they need a number 9?
Man
Or
U?
or do you think
Well,
Ten Hag and Ronaldo should shake hands?
I don't think
and-
Martial is that answer there. I know they got him back on loan now. He's back on the team, but I don't think he's going to be that starter or will ever be that starter for them. Ronaldo, I mean, I get where Ten Hag's coming from though. Like Ronaldo's obviously going to be your main striker, but he's not going to be playing every game. He can't be playing every because you're going to waste him and you're going to gas him. I know people say, "Oh, he does get gassed."
Yeah,
you notice it in games.
Oh, yeah,
There's games
yeah.
where he plays against Spezia and he scored a hat trick and you're like, "Oh my god, he's amazing." And then the next game, well, it was like a harder game against like Napoli or Inter, and you see him, he's not running.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make that run
He's
behind
lazy.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, buddy, what are you doing?" And yeah, obviously for him, he just wants to play every game. But the coach notices. The coach says, "Okay, no, you are the greatest, but I want you to be the greatest on those games that I need you to be the greatest.
Exactly.
Not against teams that the games that we should win, and we go out there and we most likely will get the result. Not those games. You need the games where you need him, and that's why I think, man, you don't need to go and spend big money on a big like a Haaland or like a thing like that.
Yeah.
But they need to get a guy like. And like I saw that they were linked with Arnautovic. I don't think that's the answer either.
Yeah,
as a
that is
striker.
the weirdest.
If anything, if you're gonna go for like something
move
like that,
ever.
go to Juventus and if you're gonna get Rabiot, get a package deal and get Keane too, because Keane's better than Arnautovic, and at least he's younger, so you could have potential that he can become your next striker for the years to come.
Yeah, and I think he could actually fit in the Prem given the proper chance.
Who?
Keane.
Yeah, like on a team like Man U. If like Everton, they weren't a good team.
No, they were in a dark spot.
There.
Clearly, they've been in a dark spot.
Time
yeah.
too. If he went to like Man U, yeah, I think he would do actually pretty well there.
Yeah.
It would take a little bit for him to get accustomed to, but I think he would play with he would do well in playing in England.
Yeah. No, I think Moise Keane would be one of those transfers that again you have Ronaldo there. I think Moise Keane could definitely be, especially because he's on the market.
Yeah.
So I feel like Juve, they spent some money this transfer market. They want to kind of offload someone for some value, but nothing too crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like they could get a good deal for him. Like, I just think Man U is. I genuinely don't know, like if they like. I don't know. They're one of those teams that I think they address the wrong problems first.
Yeah.
Like even getting a new left back. Yeah, that made 100% sense. But why do you have another center back now? Like, why did you get Lisandro Martinez? And he did very well.
He did well, but was it really needed?
You have Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Varane, Harry Maguire, and Martinez now.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it should be Martinez and Varane.
Yes.
But Maguire's the captain, so he's not moving. So
and Ten Hag already said that he's sticking with him, and
so now you're gonna have
he has faith.
Treble-winning World Cup winner, really good player all round, actually knows how to pass the ball. Rafael Varane on the bench.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a guy that's nicknamed Slabhead.
Yeah.
Playing there,
starting as your captain. I am the captain now.
I just think they. I don't know if I can have words anymore.
Man U is. I'm telling you, I look at that team. I'm like, but I don't know. Like, what do they need? I'm looking at it.
You want to say they need a striker, but they have Ronaldo there. They have Martial, Rashford who could play there.
That's the thing. It's like
they got rid of Cavani.
Why not play Rashford there then? Play him as a striker. He did well there with when Thing was there. Ole was there.
I don't know. That's
play him there.
I think the only obvious thing that they would need is a McFred substitute.
Yeah, like McFred.
Get rid of both those guys.
Whatever you owe them, whatever their contract is, pay it out. Let them leave for free. Sign new midfielders.
Maybe keep McTominay because he's younger than Fred. That's the only justification I could give him.
I would still sell both of them. Get rid of both of them. I saw this morning. I woke up. The first thing I saw was Rabiot close to United. Then the next thing I saw was United proposed swap McTominay for Rabiot. And I literally had a heart attack. No.
Throw up. Honestly, if I was a Juve fan, that is not something to wake up to.
That's so much worse.
I woke up to Zaniolo still linked now with all these other teams. And Chelsea. I got a notification. I'm like, here we go. You can't just let the guy live in peace. But on that note of actually bringing up Serie A, we are back with the challenges.
Yes, we are.
Me and Alex have brainstormed other challenges. We're not just going to be taking shots and drinking in front of you guys. That could be a thing come wintertime, just because whatever.
We're going to need some drinks to keep us warm.
We're going to need some drinks to keep us warm. And we also don't want to drink eggs because I personally have a very sensitive stomach that I even smell stuff like that and my stomach is hurting. Al maybe could do it, but I mean, I feel like I always lose these bets.
Yeah.
So on that topic, we do have a challenge. We will be posting our challenges on TikTok. All right. So all our smaller content, we will be trying to post on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, just to
all of our challenge videos and like anything like that.
Yeah, we're gonna like until we run out of the challenges that we have brainstormed.
And just because it gives us more options too, because down here it's obviously if we're doing just challenges on the episode and like live, it's you're very limited. That's why.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
We can't
like,
really
when we start resorting to the shots, we'll obviously do it live during the podcast, something like that, because it's something quick, simple. But for our other challenges, we will be kind of just posting that on TikTok, quick little things, whatever. So this week, the 3 fixtures we have are Chelsea versus the Spurs, Arsenal versus Leicester, and Juve versus Sassuolo. I had to throw a Juve game in there because, this guy over here.
Okay.
So, Al.
Start things off.
Chelsea versus Spurs. I don't know what accent that was there.
I mean, I'm going bold in my table. I gotta go bold with my boys here. Then the Spurs take this one.
That's a bold move. Arsenal, Leicester.
Arsenal. Easy. Clap cheeks.
Now, the one that isn't so easy. Juve versus Sassuolo.
So I'm confidently gonna say Juve because that game there already. I know it's Sassuolo, but that game's gonna say a lot about the season.
Yeah, and also in saying that, I feel like Sassuolo doesn't really start that well. Whereas,
listen,
sorry, my bad.
If we get any other result other than a win,
fire Allegri, get him out. Get the pitchfork.
But something has to be looked at because Sassuolo. First of all, they don't have like that because usually they get going with once they start getting that chemistry. And they start moving.
Yeah.
They lost against Modena today. They looked absolutely horrible. I watched the highlights at work. They were horrible. And like, dude, Berardi was like
Raspadori.
Berardi was like fighting the fan. Yeah, he's leaving. He's going to Napoli. That team's gonna be gone. Fratesi, I guarantee by the end of the window, he's gone too.
Roma, hopefully. I wish.
There's a couple teams in Italy now they're joining in.
Their owners
because Roma's taking too long.
No, we're not taking too long. He just wants everything.
Joe,
Anyways,
not everything's about Roma. Listen, if they don't get that win against this weekend against that Sassuolo team, there's a lot bigger problems than just Pogba's injury and Chiesa still being out. There's gonna be a lot more problems than that.
Chiesa's still out. I thought he was back.
They're taking it slow. They're
easing
taking
him in.
really slow.
We don't want
He's been training since when the season ended. He ended his vacation and went right back to like to the Juve training ground to start training and getting ready. And ever since then, like he has been training, but he's not.
You just want to take
back.
that risk.
I think so. I think they said in early September he's gonna be back. So I can't wait for that. I miss him.
All right. My predictions
what's
now.
your predictions?
I think it's going to be Chelsea.
Okay.
That beats the Spurs. I think Arsenal. And I'm going to say Juve versus Sassuolo. That's going to be a tie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. If it's a tie, then there won't be an episode next week.
Listen, I always have to go bold and go against you with certain things in this world. That is going to be one of them, besides our team. But yeah, that's.
So
I think.
What?
I wasn't gonna say anything. Sorry.
You're so weird.
Nothing.
I'm gonna punch you in the nose so hard after this. Okay. Well, anyways, Joe's being weird, guys.
You're being weird.
I'm gonna end things. We're gonna end things off here.
Al gave me kissy eyes. That's why I was being weird, guys. There you have it.
There
it is again.
We're happy to be back. Hopefully, we don't have any more interruptions and take too much any more time off because now soccer's coming back, and I don't think until next May or June we're not gonna have any days off because there's a lot of soccer coming up, and we're gonna be very busy and on a lot of streaming apps and paying for them because they all want to be on different apps for some reason.
Yeah, Champions League is
Pisses
here,
me
Prem
off.
is here, Serie A is there. I think my nonno has the rights to something else.
But besides that, guys, if you haven't done it already, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ultras11. And if you haven't done it already, go on to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us there because our videos will be on there every time we release an episode. And when that video comes up, if you don't mind, leave a like and comment on it because it is greatly appreciated. And other than that, Joe, I'm all done here. Let's send it off.
Okay. See you later, guys.
See you next week. Ciao.